What's up, guys? Starting to do some videos again. I don't think I've done one since the show in last July. This is one of my, favorable exercises, I'll say. I'm still focused on stretch and contraction and trying to put as much blood in that muscle as I can, because I spent years just yanking and pulling on stuff and getting lucky with the results that I had. Now I understand what I'm doing with each body part. I'll do 2 sets right here. I'll probably do one as heavy as I can for like 8 to 12, and then I'll back off and try and get another set at like 10 to 12. All right, so this would be my main set on this. I'll strap it. I'm trying to focus on driving elbow low, lifting up rib cage so I get maximum contraction. And if you're really good and advanced, you could get your wrist to break in like this. And even if you just pulled your hand back here like this, like for a good pull, and then took your wrist and bent it in, you would feel more of a contraction from that point. So try that out, see what you think. All right, so what you saw there it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't nothing spectacular. It was just me taking that muscle to exhaustion, and what happened was one rep got slow, the next one got slower, and I barely squeezed one out. I don't try and kick the can down the road and be like, yeah, yeah, and get 3 more reps to say I did. I want good, clean quality over quantity at this point in my life. When I do the unilateral movements, if you don't know, that means one side at a time. I take a little 30 or 45-second break in between so I can catch my breath. I don't think it's ever a bad idea to hang out in the stretch. After you finished your last rep or didn't get it, hang out there in the stretch for a little bit. All right, so this is the knockoff of the Arsenal multi-row. I like this one. I've been liking this bottom flared grip because I can really squeeze into this lower corner of lat if I drag my elbow low, and then if I want to get more upper back, I just take my elbow path and have it more come up so I could get more like rhomboids, teres, mid-trap. So I'm gonna touch this load real quick on each arm. I've been using a lot of unilateral stuff just because I want to bring up my left side. I feel like my left side of my back, shoulder, chest all needs individual direct work to like kind of work on symmetry. So it's the same deal. I want to get out there in the stretch position. And like I said, if I want to get more low lat, I'm going to drive elbow down lower. And if I want to get some upper mid lat, rhomboids, teres, mid trap, I'll just change my elbow pathway to higher. This time I'm going to get low, shoot for low lat. Touch the side real quick. When I say touch, if you don't know or haven't been watching my stuff, I'm just taking the weight and pulling on it like if I was going to do a set just to see how it feels. If I gauge in my head, is this going to be heavy enough to get my rep range, which is normally 8 to 12. All right, so I think that's good. I'm going to go with this. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad idea to hang out in that stretch after you have exhausted it, the contraction part. right, so that was exercise number 2. I've been liking this machine right here just because I could get like this circle in the middle of my back, the mid trap, bottom of the traps, mid back with this neutral grip, and I could really lift up through. So I think I'm gonna do another show this year, probably like the mid towards the end. Try and go for that pro card one more time. Last time I felt like my first showing was probably the best I ever looked on stage. At the USA's was not it. Too much. I feel like I dieted too hard. And I kind of felt that at 5 or 6 weeks, like I was starting to get stringy and fall apart. I started that prep at like 295, so I don't think that I should have lost more than 40 pounds because I wasn't totally fat. I was probably like at 18 or 15% body fat at that point. So this time I'm doing everything on my own. I've been doing everything on my own, all my coaching, all my nutrition, all my training programming and whatnot. It's all on me. That way, either I learn it for myself or I can't blame anyone but myself if things don't go right. So you live and you learn, and I'm not saying we don't need coaches. Maybe I'll get a coach again. Maybe I'll have somebody just be my eyes like 6 weeks out. From there on, help me land the plane. But I know my body, and I've dieted down enough times to know what needs to happen and what it should look like. And like I said, I'm not getting fat this time. I'm waking up like 285, almost 290, 287. And this is the best shape I've ever been in. So my goal is to get into the low 300s here in the next couple months, and then diet down from there, probably starting in like March. So with this, I want to get that mid back stretched and then drive up through elbow low, dig chin through low lat. I want to feel that lat insertion around my spine. Low. My goal is to do between 8 and 12 sets, depending on how that's structured. Like, they might be all straight sets. Every third or fourth workout, I might do a little bit more like intensity, so less rest. Excuse me. And then most of the time, it's 8 to 12 straight sets with the intensifiers, a rest pause, a cluster set, a widowmaker, a triple drop. Those are the intensifiers I use to extend the set so that I could get more of a stimulus. What you want to do, and what anybody wants to do, is put on more lean muscle so that you can burn more body fat. That's the game for everyone, whether they realize it or not. And so what I'm doing is basically what's always worked since the beginning of time for everyone. It's how you stay young. It's scientifically proven there's nothing better than strength training, coming in here and lifting weights on each individual body part once a week. Like, that's how you stay youthful. That's how all the most successful people, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of the most successful people understand this and make it part of their daily routine. Because one thing's for certain, if your body can't move and is not in a healthy state, you're not going to be able to do anything that you want to do. So I'll show you 2 more exercises. That way I could finish up what I got to do. I just wanted to run through the major exercises, or the main ones that I was going to do for my workout. All right, so like I said, I could do just like everything. If I stay and drag shoulder and elbow low and lift up through chest, I'm going to grab more lat. This lower lat that comes down into your erectors and stops right here where your teres flares out around like your rhomboids and lower traps and stuff. But I could also get that upper lat if I pull up into it straighter like this. So what I'll do is a superset. I'll pick one, top or lower, pull into that, until I exhaust, and then I'll try and get a couple out of the other angle. And so whatever, like if I'm doing 2 sets here, if I pulled into upper back the first time, the next time I'll pull into lower lat. I'll show you guys one more exercise I'm gonna do and then get Logan on his way. I usually do these last. So I wanna stay low, let my hands come to the slightly over neutral, almost pronated, and then squeeze up through these. I'm like this and pulling up through my torso. Whatever you're doing for back, whether you're doing a pull down from the top or from the side or from the bottom, this has to happen. This lifting up of the rib cage so you can get your lat to fully contract. And here's something real simple that I always show people that'll help you a lot. So if you're not feeling it, this is what you do. You come in to here where you'd be in this chest up, elbow down position where you feel your lat flexed. And you could get a lot of lat fiber recruitment like this. But like I was saying over there, if you just turn your wrist in, you could feel even more. So turn your wrist in, walk back with a load like you've pulled it, let it go, and then try and bring it back to that same spot. That's a good way to feel like what that lat should feel like when it's opening, closing, and engaging like it should be. Lift that chest up high, drive that shoulder down low, break that wrist in, and get as much fiber recruitment as you can out of that. So it's the same thing. I just have two of these in my hand. I'm doing the same exact thing. But on this one, I'm trying to drag my elbow and shoulder low and lift chest up high. So that'd be it. The only thing I didn't show, like have him record today, was I'll do something for width. So that'd be a rack chin, and you guys have seen that. It's where you Smith machine or a squat rack or whatever, put the bar up about this high, hang from it straight, elbows in front. You want to be pulling straight up. You don't want like this weird inverted like pull-up thing. You want your butt to be straight down underneath you, your butt and your hands behind the bar, break elbow and wide. Or you could do pull-ups. I think that's a good one. But remember, whenever you're doing something for your back, you want to feel it opening and closing. So there's people that can do a lot of pull-ups and they don't have big lats. So the main indicator that you're missing it is your loads keep going up, but your body's not changing. So think about that, and if that's you, go back to zero, drop the ego. It's not easy to do, but I can tell you that it works because I've done it. If you haven't been responding, you haven't been just blowing up by yanking and pulling on things like some of the people we see in the magazines over the years or online that don't have the best form, but what they do have is that mind and muscle connection, and they're connecting and they're keeping tension on that muscle, opening and closing it. That has to happen. I'm not saying there's not people that aren't hyper responders that don't have to do a lot of that, but I think there's that mind and muscle connection is a big thing. All the greatest people in the world talk about it. The biggest people in the world talk about it. And it's something that I've experienced for myself that has brought a lot of success and progression to my physique. So as always, I'm just trying to tell you what I've done that's helped me. And I want to thank Logan. I want to thank Sanin and Rebel and all the good people that are here that care to listen to what I have to say. You guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.